Hi everybody, and welcome to another video from Maker Forte for Inktoberfest 2021. Today is day 8 and I am going to be showing you how to use kaleidoscope powders with clear ink. I'm going to make 3 tags with you today using some fabulous kaleidoscope colors. So I have laid them out here. Maker Forte has a few different styles of kaleidoscope powders. Some of them are like inference where they kind of have a color shift. There are some metallic powders in the line. There's even some really cool glow in the dark powders. So I have laid out a few of the different ones that I have, and I'm going to be using the Color Hive clear embossing ink for all of the techniques that I'm showing you today. My name is Carissa, and you may know me from my YouTube channel, Inky Fairy Designs. So if you want to check that out, I would really appreciate it. You can also follow me on Instagram at Inky Fairy Designs as well. So Inktoberfest is a month-long celebration where we're going to show you how to use your inks in many different ways. And like I said, today we're going to play with our inks and some kaleidoscope powder. So for the first tag, I am pulling out a really large stamp from the Easy Watercolor stamp set, and I just wanted to show you kind of like the basic, how you can use your kaleidoscope powders just direct to some cardstock here on the tag. And I also, you can't see at the bottom, but I do have a sentiment at the bottom, and you can also stamp sentiments in the clear ink and use your kaleidoscope powders to create a different look instead of like inking up your sentiments with colored ink. So I am going to stamp that and put that on the tag. I am looking for my smusher tool because it is a large stamp, and to get a really good impression, I do love using the Maker Forte stamp smushing tool. Just makes it super easy with the MISTI. So that looks really good. I'm actually going to stamp that large image one more time, but before I do, because the sentiment stamped beautifully, I'm going to remove that sentiment stamp from the bottom of the MISTI, and then I will go ahead and stamp that again. So here I am just adding some more ink to my stamp here. I'm going to smush that down really good, make sure it has a good impression, and then that looks perfect. So I'm going to take this kaleidoscope powder in Pluto. It's a beautiful blue, and it's not a metallic, I don't think, but it does have that beautiful shimmer to it. And when you are spreading your kaleidoscope powder on your project, you want a nice big fluffy brush. So I pulled out this one first to use, and it works really well. It's just a big fluffy brush, and then I'm just spreading that all over, and so wherever the clear embossing ink is on the project, that is where the kaleidoscope powder is going to stay. So you can kind of get that excess back into your jar just like that, and save it for another project. So I'm going to use an even fluffier brush. This is actually from Maker Forte. It's the Rainbow Powder Brush, polishing brush, and it's perfect. It removes any of that loose kaleidoscope powder from the cardstock, and so you just are left with that blue over wherever you stamped. Okay, so that's our first basic technique. We're going to kick it up a notch with this second card or tag. So I have already ink blended my tag using 2 colors that I'm absolutely loving right now from the Color Hive collection. It's English Mustard and Grand Canyon. These 2 colors scream fall to me, and I just love them blended together. So I am going to use my clear embossing ink through a stencil, and I'm just going to kind of like I would be blending with ink, just blend that through the stencil onto my tag here and make sure that I have nice even kind of application here. I like to like tape the one side of my stencil to create a little hinge. That way I can lift it up. It's going to stay in the same spot, but if I need to go over any section again, it's not going to move on me. So creating that little hinge somewhere on the project is a great tip so that you can kind of peek and see if you've got the coverage that you want through the stencil. If not, you can place it back on perfectly and then you're good to go. So now I'm happy with the way that that looks, and I'm going to use some metallic kaleidoscope powder for this one, and this one is Solar Flare. It is beautiful. So now I'm going to use this dual brush powder brush from Maker Forte, and I'm going to pick up the powder instead of pouring it on my project like I did in the last one. I'm going to pick it up with my little powder tool and kind of spot it onto my tag over the areas where I put that clear ink through the stencil. And then I can rub it in with that same powder tool and make sure I get all of that nice, beautiful metallic kaleidoscope powder where I put it through put the clear ink through the stencil. And so I'm just going to do that until I'm happy with that. And now I'm going to take that big powder brush again and buff it in. And this removes any of the excess around where I didn't have the ink. So this is probably my favorite. It is so pretty. It looks beautiful over that ink blended background, and you can create some really fun backgrounds using that technique. Okay, so here's our third and final tag, and I wanted to show you, I just had to show you how this looks over colored cardstock. And black is probably my favorite. It's just got, it's going to give you that contrast with the black, and then I'm going to use the falling, or the snow falling kaleidoscope powder, which is a white kaleidoscope powder. So I stamped that using, this is the Sending and Wishing stamp set. It's got that really pretty snowfall background that I just love. And now I am going to use that same little powder tool or brush tool, and I'm going to pounce it on there again around where I inked up the stamp and stamped it on the black cardstock. And you're gonna see, this is probably like my favorite part, is just like it's just magical to me, because you know, it doesn't look like much with the clear ink on black cardstock or any cardstock until you start adding that kaleidoscope powder, and it just starts to bring it to life. And it's just amazing to me how it sticks only where that ink is on your paper, and then you can just buff the rest of it out, and you've got this beautiful kind of shimmery, shiny background on this black cardstock. So again, I'm just buffing it off with that big powder brush, and I'm going to hold it up here, but you can already see that beautiful shimmer and shine that the kaleidoscope powder leaves behind. And you know, it picks up all of the little details from even such a detailed stamp as that's falling snow. So those are the three techniques that I love using with clear ink and my kaleidoscope powders. You can use these in your card making, your scrapbooking, mixed media. All of these techniques are going to work beautifully in any of those, whichever is your favorite way of crafting. So I hope that you enjoy this and picked up some little tips and tricks along the way. And I cannot wait to see you guys use this technique in your card making in the future. It's not too late to follow along yourself. Be sure to pick up the Maker Forte Inktoberfest bundle online. You can get that link below in the description. You get 2 packs of tags so you can follow along each day and make your own samples, a book ring to keep them all together so you can refer to it all the time, exclusive stencils, exclusive binder bling, and even some surprise goodies are going to be in there for you. Be sure to follow this channel and subscribe so that every day at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when the video goes live, you get that notification. Also follow at maker.forte on Instagram all month long. There's going to be giveaways. You're not going to want to miss them. And if you want to follow me for more inspiration, you can find me on Instagram and YouTube at Inky Fairy Designs. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.